Hey guys, Matt here. So today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Thor. Now, Thor is directed by Kenneth Branagh, who previously directed the movie Sleuth and is a well-known actor, especially when it comes to playing Shakespearean roles, and he's actually one of my favorites. And when I first heard he would be directing this movie, I wasn't too sure. Then I thought, well, I wasn't too sure about Jon Favreau originally, but after seeing Iron Man 1 and 2, I thought, okay, wow, he's established. So, Kenneth Branagh did a really good job as director, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he'll do next, because he went from directing drama to this action-packed movie. So, good job, Kenneth. Thor stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hiddleston, Stellan Skarsgård, Idris Elba, Kat Dennings, Rene Russo, and even Ray Stevenson. And going into the Thor movie, when I originally saw the ending scene in Iron Man 2 and heard there would be a movie for each of the Avengers, I wasn't sure that I'd want to see a Thor movie. I mean, I didn't know what the plot was going to be, and I really didn't want to see long-haired Thor with his helmet and no facial hair. I actually didn't even think he'd have an accent for some reason. But we get Thor. We get pretty much no helmet for almost the whole movie. You know, we get a beard and we get the accent. And I can say that I was proven wrong by my doubts in this movie, and I'm actually glad I was, because I really enjoyed it. It was action-packed, the acting was good, and it even stuck to its Marvel roots. And there were a lot of little hints and things in the movie, you know, mentionings of other Marvel characters. There was even a cameo of one of the other Avengers in the movie, which I was surprised to see, because they don't call him by his Avengers name. They call him by his real name. And also, there are a lot of little moments in the movie where there's a scene where Loki says, "The mighty Thor," which was the original issue of Thor, of his own spin-off series. And there's a bunch of, you know, little Thor mentions in like signs and posters and water towers and whatnot around the city that they go to in New Mexico. So it was a good movie for all of you Marvel, especially Thor comic book fans. As far as the acting goes, the acting all around pretty much really good, if not great. Anthony Hopkins, wonderful. Tom Hiddleston, I really liked his portrayal of Loki. Chris Hemsworth, good job, buddy. Good job. You have pretty much proven that nobody can count an actor out as far as a leading role goes. You know, people counted out Heath Ledger as the Joker, and look where his status is now. Chris Hemsworth, you are going to be known as the only guy to be able to play Thor, much like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Rene Russo was in the movie. Her role was really minor, so they really could have picked any actress to play her role. Natalie Portman, for an A-list actress like her to be in this movie, it was really not needed, but you kind of needed the attractive woman appeal to the movie. Her character, for me, she was there. I mean, Jane Foster is in the comics, but her role in this movie was just, to me, the unbelievable love interest of Thor. I mean, Sif, Thor's longtime best female friend, is in the movie, and it's a shame they didn't even hint on their possible relationship, because in the comics they are together after a short time of should we date, should we not date, and whatnot. They get together. I mean, they showed they were friends in the movie, but they didn't even hint that they would have a relationship. Kat Dennings is also in the movie, and she is right on the borderline of cute, funny, and just annoying. Idris Elba plays the gatekeeper. He did a really good job, even though his role was minor as well. And I even like the guy that played Agent Coulson in the Thor movie. He was in Iron Man, Iron Man 2. He did a really good job as Nick Fury's, right-hand man. This movie also gives us quite a bit of comedy. I'm glad that it wasn't all serious and action. There was quite a bit of comedy in the movie. one scene in particular. In Thor's world of Asgard, he is known as Odin's son, which means the son of Odin. And Nick Fury's S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, his name is Agent Coulson. Well, there's a scene where Agent Coulson walks up to Thor and says, "You haven't been completely honest with me." And Thor says, "Son of Cole, I assure you, we fight for the same team." And it's funny because Thor is totally from a different world, so he doesn't know the mannerisms, he doesn't know the language, he doesn't know grammar, he doesn't know all the things that we do on Earth. And it's funny when he's eating, and just the way he acts totally conflicts with the way Earthlings are as opposed to Asgardians. And so it was neat to see him go from this cocky, arrogant warrior to this, humbled, totally selfless person. Though I did have a problem with the whole love interest of Jane Foster. Granted, to make the movie more appealing, they had to put that in there, but just Jane Foster and Thor kind of having chemistry in like 2 days. I mean, my only guess is that Natalie Portman's character kind of had the, okay, he's from another world, he's different, he's strange, but he's tough and brave, so I like that kind of thing. Me, I didn't really care for it, but hey, had to move the movie along. Sorry to ramble on about the characters and whatnot. The basic plot of the movie is Thor is this brave and cocky and courageous warrior, and he pretty much thinks that he can do whatever he wants. But his father Odin pretty much says you can't, and because of your arrogance you've endangered the lives of people in Asgard. So he banishes him to Earth, and he takes away all of his power. And later in the movie he sends his hammer down to Earth just in case Thor may need it. And so while he's on Earth, Thor has a half-brother, Loki, who at first wanted to be the good son. He wanted to be the one that caught Odin's eye. But then after Thor is banished to Earth, he then has his eyes set on the throne. And again, Tom Hiddleston's role as Loki was really good. I mean, he reminded me a lot of Edward Norton, and I was kind of like, okay, Edward Norton could have played that role, but he was the Hulk as well, so that kind of would have been conflicting. So, there's that. Let me just make sure I covered everything. Okay, be sure, after you see the movie, stay after the credits. Even though the credits are quite long, make sure you stay after, because there is another portion leading into the Avengers movie. Also, something I thought was quite funny. In the end credits, under the special thanks, they thank Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, but they even thank Ralph Macchio, which was a bit odd, so I'm going to look into that and figure out why. So, if I had to rate this movie from a 1 to a 5, I'd give it a 4. So, go see Thor, and until next time, guys, see ya.